Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 11 a.m. news and weather updates from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got a story to bring to you from a woman in Swan Quarter arrested in Pitt County facing 84 charges. Now Kristen Swindell of Swan Quarter is again facing a total of 84 charges in Pitt County. The Pitt County Sheriff's Office says on December 19th, 2024, deputies received a report where victims were notified by their bank of fraudulent activity that had recently happened on their account. After obtaining fraudulent transactions from their bank, the victims contacted deputies. An investigation found that the 35-year-old Swindell had obtained the debit card number of the victims and then made fraudulent transactions. Deputies say Swindell had been the cleaning lady for the victims for the past 3 years. She's been charged with 37 counts of identity theft, obtain property by false pretenses, 35 counts, obtain property by false pretense, 9 counts, felony financial card fraud, 1 count, and misdemeanor financial card fraud, 2 counts. Now, Swindell was arrested on Tuesday by Hyde County deputies at her home. She's been jailed on a $200,000 secured bond. And now we want to give you an update on another arrest we brought to you, I believe it was last week. Dominique Thompson, the man who was wanted in Bertie County for shooting at a deputy, is again now facing federal charges. The U.S. Attorney's Office says 34-year-old Dominique Thompson has been charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm. Bertie County deputies say the man fired at deputies who were responding to a call around 1:20 a.m. Friday morning for an armed person at a home in Lewiston, Woodville. Now, he was able to escape, and the feds say deputies learned Thompson had family in Kinston. Lenoir County deputies found his car on the side of the road at around 9:30 a.m. A short time later, Kinston police discovered him in the back seat of a car after a traffic stop. Now, the man was arrested on state charges of 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon on a government official, 2 counts of assault on a law enforcement animal, 3 counts of discharging a weapon into occupied property, 2 counts of damage to government property, and possession of a firearm by a felon. He's currently being held on a $1.2 million bond on those charges. The U.S. Attorney's Office says it found guilty. That says if found guilty on federal charges, he faces up to 15 years in prison. And now we want to highlight your weather forecast, where today it's another sunny day, but just because we are sunny does not automatically mean that we are warm. In fact, today, sunshine is going to be pretty much on par with what we had yesterday, but air temperatures will be we'll give it about 5 to 7 degrees cooler than where we were yesterday. So keep that in the back of your mind. Today is going to again be a cool one. Right now, some areas still in the upper 60s despite the sunny skies. And a big reason why we're seeing the cooler air temperatures is because cooler air is flowing into the east. Take a look at the cloud flow around Virginia. You're seeing again lots of those clouds coming from the northwest down to the southeast. That is a sign of airflow rolling across our region, the backside of the Appalachian Mountains. That flow is pushing cooler and drier air from the mountains down into eastern North Carolina. So again, just looking at your satellite imagery, you can gain a lot of knowledge about what is going on and what's going to be happening. Just looking at the clouds. Well, there's certain tricks. Now, as far as what cloud cover looks like from at least a ground view, right now this is a view through our Grifton cam. This is actually about just shy of about 2,000 feet up in the air. So certainly a little bit more elevated, but still, again, looking kind of at the bottoms of those clouds. Very small cumulus clouds, nothing going to bring any sort of rain to the forecast for today. 70 degrees currently in Grifton, comes with a northwesterly wind at 9 miles an hour. Again, remember those clouds moving in from Virginia, all coming in out of the northwest. Our wind coming out of the northwest, that's keeping dew points, your humidity levels down, and keeping that cooler air flowing over the east, which has our air temperatures right now, feels like kind of just stalled in the upper 60s to low 70s, generally between around 66 to 73 degrees is where most of eastern North Carolina finds ourselves. We do have 64 degrees in Roanoke Rapids and 75 degrees in Beaufort, but again, not exactly the type of heat that we had last week at this time. If you can remember back 7 days ago, remember the conditions we were experiencing. It was warmer than this at sunrise last Friday. At sunrise, we were warmer than where air temperatures are currently, and of course, it was certainly more humid. We got into the upper 80s and even low 90s a week ago. Today, not going to happen because of the northwesterly winds. Right now, blowing in at about 7 to 13 miles an hour. We do have a 14 mile per hour sustained breeze in Kenansville, and the winds are going to continue through today. And while tomorrow they are likely going to, well, they will continue, they will be a little bit lighter. And it's that decrease in wind speed that should help us recoup a little bit of heat. We'll see air temperatures climb a couple degrees from today into tomorrow, and then even more so coming up from your Saturday into Sunday, and then Sunday into Memorial Day. Juanita O'Neill, do want to say again, thank you for tuning in on Facebook, and hopefully you as well have a happy and safe Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully everybody makes good decisions during the 3-day weekend. I know usually the unofficial start to summer is grilling season. Everybody's heading to the coast. The coast is going to, again, be very sunny on Saturday. On Sunday and Monday, though, I would certainly anticipate a little bit more cloud cover. And again, air temperature is really not going to be getting all that toasty. Here's what we've got coming up this afternoon, possibly getting into the mid 70s to upper 70s. May need to come down on some of those numbers, but the sunshine is ever present. That is not really going to be changing today. You will have, again, those fair weather cumulus clouds, those little tiny ones that kind of pop up and go away every now and then. Those are going to be present, but they're not going to amount to anything, not going to lead to, extensive breaks of sunshine. You may have those clouds punctuate your sunshine, but certainly not overcome it completely. 59 degrees by 11 p.m. tonight will again encourage air temperatures down into the low to mid 50s for tomorrow morning. That will set the stage for what again will be a cooler than average day, but it will be a touch warmer coming up tomorrow than what we're going to see today. So again, if you feel like you're missing out on some much needed heat, do note that it will gradually start to return through the holiday weekend. 77 tomorrow, 78 on Sunday, 76 on Memorial Day. We'll be back up into the low 80s once we see those rain chances start to decrease again by Thursday and Friday of next week. But humidity will also be coming back in a little bit of a faster rate than, say, your air temperatures. So again, do keep that in the back of your mind that as we make our way towards Memorial Day, Tuesday and Wednesday, humidity, at least a little bit, not full on summertime humidity, but you may notice it a little bit more as we start next week. Well, that's all we have time for today's 11 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful Friday.